Hey friend, I hope you're having a good day. So this weekend, right now, it's actually supposed to be like the 4th of July weekend thing. And our 4th of July ends up falling on a Tuesday right now. So it's kind of like a really long weekend for a lot of people. So if you hear any fireworks going on, this is the day before, July 4th. But if you hear any fireworks going on in the background, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Everybody and their grandma for like a week will be throwing out fireworks. So just so you know. But today we're going to go ahead and talk about two of my street photography shots. And for the first one, it is called Endless Curiosity, this shot right here. So for Endless Curiosity, I just really liked it just because it shows like a really, really deep like emotion, a child's curiosity. This is supposed to be like an angel, like a guardian angel or something like that. That's at least that's the perspective that I saw from it whenever I saw it. But they're looking around the lady holding the book and just trying to see and actually trying to see the book right here. But this statue that has, so it had three like little statues on the side of it, and then it had a big statue of a man on top of it. But this specific thing is called the Goeth Monument, or Goth. It might be Goth Monument. But the cool thing about this is that it's actually in the Grover Tiergarten, which is this is like all like stuff that I ended up exploring after I saw the Brandenburger Tor, this big monument that everybody goes to Berlin to see. But I ended up seeing that, and then I ended up seeing a park next to it. So I was like, okay, well, whenever I go to New York City, I go to Central Park to do a whole bunch of street photography. So I'm going to go ahead and do that this time too. So I ended up walking over there and just, walking around, just relaxing and reading and just, having a good time basically. And I ended up seeing this statue. Whenever I saw it, I ended up taking that shot specifically. I did go around the statue and take, pictures of every single one of them. So I do have all sides of the statue, but I make it a rule to myself to only upload like one shot a day. I do break my rule whenever it comes to my story. So like those shots right there that you see right there, those are from an Instax, and I do break my rule sometimes because sometimes I'll be walking around, like specifically today, I'll be walking around and I see something really interesting and I'm just like, well, I don't want to walk away from this and then miss it, another day. So basically I end up uploading multiple shots of these on my story so you guys can check those out. But it's just one of those things where my conscience can't be like, oh, well, I'm going to take that picture today and then I'll upload it as if I took the picture tomorrow. I can't do that. But whenever it comes to me uploading pictures, I always try to upload one a day just to keep it up constant. That's like the easiest way that I can explain it. But so basically this Brandenburg Tor is the building that I wanted to see, and then I ended up walking there and I ended up taking pictures around that whole statue, the Gobe statue, I believe that's what it's called. I need to look at my pictures real quick. Yeah, the Goth Monument. So this Goth Monument is the one that I ended up taking photos of all three statues on the side, and then there is somebody standing on top of it, and that's another part of this monument and everything. But I'll just tell you right now that this whole park is beautiful. It's so whenever you go to New York City, there is a heavy even when you're in Central Park, there's a heavy, oh, you're in the big city, it's like a lot of people and everything. And I mean, there are spots in there where you can relax and stuff like that. But mainly, especially for this one, it was like when you're in Central Park, it's just like you always feel like it's busy, right? But for this one specifically, Grover Tiergarten, it was super calm, which is something that I love. There are a lot of people there, but it's just a completely different atmosphere. It's like you'll see a whole bunch of people reading. That's another thing that I ended up seeing in Germany a lot. A lot of people, they'll be walking around and then they'll go sit somewhere, and instead of being on their phone, they're reading, which is something that I connected with immediately. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like everybody here is like so literate. So many people will read, and that's one of the things that has me excited about going over to England, because they are some of the people that read more than any other person on the planet, and just because they're always reading. I find that really interesting. And since I'm a big reader, I kind of like veer towards that culture. So that's why whenever I ended up going to this Grover Tear Garden, I ended up feeling at home because I literally saw everybody reading, and everybody's reading on like normal, like, you know, paperback books or hardcover books and whatever. And I had my Kindle with me, so I felt like a little out of place, but still in place because I was still reading. But it's just so much easier to travel with the Kindle. But yeah, I'm getting sidetracked. That is this shot right here specifically. And then for the next shot, it is called Colorado River Afternoons. So I have a terrible memory, so that is basically why I always look up my own shots and see what I ended up naming them. But if this is the first time that you end up coming to these videos, just I wanted to let you know that I name all of these shots as if I'm putting them up, you know, on a gallery, which is something that I want to start doing every single December. Like at the end of the year, every picture that I took, and I can go ahead and print it out and put it on a gallery for people to see, and they can either buy my photography from around the world, or they can just, you know, see the art and just experience it, like, you know, in a live setting. But so that's why I end up naming every single one of my photos like as if I'm putting it up on a gallery. So like the last one was Endless Curiosity, you know, something like that. And then Colorado River Afternoons, like more simplistic. But this photo right here is something that I ended up taking while I was in Austin a few months ago. So I was there for a photo shoot. I haven't done photo shoots in a while now, just because I know that it's definitely a lot of work. It deserves its own, you know, load of work as far as somebody doing it specifically. I know a lot of awesome photographers and awesome models out there that, you know, they specifically only do that. But since I'm more in love with street photography, and I did, you know, whenever I took portrait photography shoots, I ended up mixing street photography with portrait photography, and a lot of people really like that style and everything. But I'm telling you right now that it's definitely a lot and a lot of work. So I've limited the amount of portrait photography, you know, photo shoots that I do a year. So if I'm doing one with you, you are super lucky, because I'm not really doing as many portrait photography shoots as I used to do. So there's that. But yeah, I was there for a photo shoot, and it was great. It was an awesome photo shoot. I actually ended up doing 2 photo shoots while I was there in 3 days. And I ended up walking by the Colorado River just because, you know, I go to like with Reggie, I go to the Trinity River every single day, and I'm just walking around and seeing stuff and everything. It's just relaxing, and I ended up doing that there too. They have the Colorado River that's right next to downtown Austin, and there were a lot of people kayaking and everything. And I ended up waiting there for a little bit, just because I knew that this person right here was gonna, you know, walk it, like paddle into frame on the kayak. And I was also waiting for somebody. It's really, really hard to see, but just from my eye, this is how I wanted the shadows. If I had brought it up any more, it wouldn't have been as dark as I would want it to be. And even if you don't notice the people that are at the very, very end, or like right off the bat, me pointing it out now you'll notice. But basically I ended up waiting for people to walk by on the walking path like behind, and those pillars are actually leading your eye towards those people. Even if you don't notice them at first, now that you're looking at it, you'll be like, oh, okay, well, you know, that I can see why my eye led that way. But I ended up putting them there, and it's really dark, but if you turn up your brightness, you'll be able to see them. But then it's them, and then it's the actual kayaker coming in. I didn't want them to clash, as far as, you know, somebody walking behind them and then the kayak right in front. So that's why I put the kayak a little bit to the right, his left, you know, if you're looking at the other way, and then a little to the left, those leading line pillars go straight to the subject that's actually on the other side of the bank. So that's how I ended up taking this picture, and it had me waiting there for a little bit, but not too long, which is good, because I ended up having to take this, you know, really, really late afternoon. I didn't have that much light, but I still made it work, and it just looks legit. And that's basically how I ended up taking this picture. But yeah, that's one of the things that I end up talking about in this channel a lot, is how I end up taking these pictures, and then, you know, what I want you to look at in these pictures. Because there are times whenever you just see a picture online, especially with Instagram nowadays, where there are so many talented people out there, and obviously there are people with like millions and millions of followers and everything, but there are also, you know, regular people. But you get saturated with so much information and so many photos on a daily basis that you really like, even the most beautiful pictures, you're not going to notice them right off the bat, just because you are so used to seeing gorgeous pictures every single day whenever you slide through Instagram, especially if you are following accounts that take like nature shots, or, you know, really really specific type of city shots. Like I follow people that end up taking pictures of people only in the rain, which is actually really awesome, and it works. But you get saturated with all this information, so whenever you see a shot, you're like, well, you know, it's just another shot. Like, oh, it's cool, I like it. But most of the time you just slide through it because you're just like, oh, it's just another shot. But me explaining these shots, this is why I'm doing this too, because I want my work to, you know, be more spread out there. I want people to see my work. I want this to be my legacy. So that's why I explain my shots, so you guys can get a feel on how I ended up interpreting the shot and what I wanted to express. So whenever I started doing street photography, I would just click, you know, take pictures and just try to figure out everything after the fact. But now that I'm really thinking about my shots, I end up thinking, like, going way more deep into it and what I want to express and everything. So technically this shot right here, which is a Colorado River afternoons, it's supposed to show you how Texans basically are like super outdoors people. Like even whenever we are in the city, we are still like outdoors a lot. And yes, we complain about the heat and stuff like that, but even then we'll be outdoors and just having a good time outside and everything, while there's other people that don't like that type of life. Yet over here, it's everything about outdoors. So that's just you know, two of my shots that I ended up uploading here recently. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys next time. I hope you guys have a good 4th of July tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys next time.